All right, guys, 25th of August, 2025, CRAZII Market Talk with KEL. Crazy, anytime, anywhere. I think that this is a tagline that I've always been using, and I love it very much because anytime you can use CRAZII, and anywhere in the world you can use CRAZII. And that is how I see it for myself and for this business, right? Okay, guys, good morning to all of you. Today, there's a lot of things to share with you. There's one very special session at the back, so don't miss it, all right? So disclaimer apply as usual, do your risk management accordingly. Later on, I'll tell you how to handle the big candle day. Now, last Friday, we saw the US Dow Jones up by 800 points, right? Wow, okay. So how can you utilize this to make a very good trade from here? I'll show to you shortly. So don't go away. Yeah, this is going to be a very big one. Okay. So let's do the fundamental first. Okay, let's bring the fundamental. Okay, come. Now, the Dow Jones last Friday surged by 800 points. Okay, it was a slap in the face because I was wrong. I expected this Jerome Powell not to say anything, but instead itself, he actually said that there is a possibility, or the word he used was warrant, okay? And then that's where the market picked it up and seemingly confirmed that it will be a rate cut in September, and the market just went ballistic. Okay, I'll talk about it right now. Let's go into detail. So the Dow Jones rallied to all-time high as Friday. Now, one thing you must understand this. All along, NASDAQ and S&P were at all-time high, but the Dow Jones was actually behind. So I was telling a friend of mine, I said that if there's going to be a turning point in the market, there's one thing must happen, and the Dow Jones must really hit all-time high. But again, I thought that I was wrong, but proven right in the wrong way. Okay, so the market shoot out to all-time high, and that basically tick the one that I want to talk about. So which means now everything is alignment. We have the market at a very overvalued level. We have a market now being crazy level, and the market just rocked the all-time high. And that is something very, very important here. So the all-time high has given me the confidence that I think we are near the top. Okay, the all-time high has made me think that we are near a top. And I think that that is where you need to be very, very careful, because you don't want to be caught at the wrong side of the market. Now, the thing is this, if you look carefully across the board, the market was up by average 1.5% to 1.8% across the board. So it's very uniform, yeah? Okay, while all this happened itself, right, but you look carefully, Meta only jumped by 2%, okay? Alphabet, Amazon, 3%. Only Tesla was a bit more because they were whacked badly previously. In the speech itself, right, you can see that the Jerome Powell said the baseline outlook and the shifting balance of risk may warrant adjusting our policy stand. Okay, that is where the market picked that word up, right? May warrant. So the immediate impact was, okay, confirm it is a rate cut. Then the Fed added on, the balance of the risk appears to be shifting. All right, the balance of the risk appear to be shifting. Now, this is going to be a very interesting statement here, because it basically is between the central bank dual mandate of full employment and stable price. He cited that the sweeping changes in tax, trade, and immigration policy. So in short itself, right, okay, he is saying that, right, they are now basically have to see which is more important. Is it inflation more important or unemployment more important? And seemingly right now, they are telling people that the unemployment is more important. So by cutting rate will likely stimulate the economy. While the inflation, we can put it away first. Previously itself, before the meeting, he was always emphasizing the importance of this inflation and not really talking about the unemployment. So if you ask me, right, from another angle, right, if you look at it through, the worry is that now I think the Federal Reserve know that the unemployment data is coming up. And I've been talking about this in MAO videos. So therefore, right, it's a very clear indication that US really might be moving towards a recession based on the economy not doing as well, plus unemployment increasing, especially for the young generation. So that is why you can see right now that the market suddenly, the expectation of a rate cut from 75% has jumped to 83%. Okay, the bar is extremely high now for the Fed to leave rate unchanged in less than a month time. So in short itself, everybody is very, very confident that there will be a rate cut coming in September. Okay, so if you look detail, okay, he says that Fed will proceed carefully they were to make a decision. They know that they're in the wrong position, but they have no choice but to do what they're supposed to do. Okay, so in short, everybody now is looking at Jerome Powell this coming September, which is on the 16th and 17th of September. So again, I said this before, the CPI data is on the first to second week of the month in September. So that will be one concerning factor. I cannot believe that the market now is pushing up in anticipation of a stronger, higher CPI data and a lowering unemployment data. Sorry, increasing in this case. So there will be another worry coming in. But because now the market is just basically, having the short-term game, everybody is happy. So, okay, we just get used to it. But remember, the problem, it won't run away, because if they were to cut interest rate in September, but they don't cut in October or November, then of course December rate cut itself, right, it will likely be too late. So my personal view is this: I still believe that gold will go higher on a weaker dollar, but it doesn't mean that, right, this so-called sudden upside in the US market is going to stand for long. Yeah, I don't think so. Right? How come I got the Indonesian today coming in? I think someone chose the wrong one. It should be in Vietnamese today, right? How come I got the Indonesian language today? Interesting. Hold on. May I know who's the one who wanted it to be Indonesian? May I know who is that? Because I think for Indonesia, we can speak in English, right? Or is it chose strongly? Yeah, I prefer Vietnamese there. Easier, yeah? Okay, all right, let's go. Now, the US government has taken a 10% stake in Intel, and seemingly Donald Trump is taking this whole thing like a business, and now is involved doing this. I think that because they want Donald Trump wants the Intel to become one of the leading what they call manufacturer here itself, and that's why they're pushing it. So Intel, the only American company making advanced chips, yeah, I repeat that, is the only one on US soil, has made a 8.9 investment into Intel common stock, purchasing 433 million shares at a price of $20.47. Okay, so it seems that America is trying to let the whole world know that they will lead by example. Yeah. Okay. Good part is that, of course, this will help a lot. The bad part is, let's hope that the technology that they have is able to press down China. And that's how I see it. Now, Morgan Stanley says that the market and the economy are telling diverging stories. Pretty clear. All right. So the stock market is now up by 10%, but the economy itself is not doing as well. As a matter of fact, the economy is not doing good. In fact, it's coming down based on the negative impact on the tariff and immigration. Now, one thing to note here, Donald Trump has already stopped a lot of illegal immigrants from coming in. So what happened is that there's a lot of jobs right now that's vacant, right? That's good, right? But the problem is those jobs itself are not really those jobs that Americans want to take over. So now there's a problem. There is actually a shortage of workers right now in America. And that is because the Americans are not going to take those jobs. This is why there's an issue right now. And because of that, right, the loophole, the so-called hole over here, it causes company to have headaches. And when a company have this sort of problem, their sales will decrease and things will have a repercussion effect. So that is reason why now you notice that even the retail marts in America is also suffering because of the higher costs, and all these companies, they actually push the cost back to the consumer, which consumer now have lesser people working. That means that there will be a repercussion of the job employment, and then that will lead back to sales and then earnings and profit, and then it will go round and round. So that is why by basically taking a position to reduce migrants into US, the good part is he cleans up the so-called human population, but the bad part is that there's jobs that are not able to be done by the American themselves. So they know it very well, yeah? So business bring back recession special could be the latest sign of deteriorating consumer sentiment. So what is happening right now is that the fear of the economy slowing down, worry has spurred young Americans to pinpoint out a potential recession indicator. Although some businesses are picking up, right? But then it's not going to be not a special one. You can see that they actually come up funny, interesting thing like this. They lower down the price because of recession fear. Okay. All right. So all this thing is happening in America, and let's see how it goes. All right. So that is the fundamental side. Now let's go to the technical side right now. I wanna having some little issue to drag my Dow over. Okay, very simple. Let's look at the Dow this morning. Now, the Dow this morning is definitely a very positive Dow. You can see that the Dow this morning opened at 45,661. All right, we have the Dow that went up by 600 to 700 and 800 points. Okay, it's a strong rally. Now, that basically tells you that when the market was coming down, remember, when the market was coming down, I told you the boys were buying, right? And you can see the power of the KSI. So that's why when the market goes above OP, the market just shoot up. But of course, this OP was broken up during the period of time when Jerome Powell at 10 p.m. came in and talked about it. So that's why you can see the market basically gave no chance and shoot up all the way. Okay, so that is done deal. So what's happening now? The market is now trading below OP. Why, you may say? Because this is a little bit too high and we are now at all-time high. Okay, so boys are actually liquefying their position. So how low can this go? Now, this is going to be an important support at 45,488. This is a pivot 2 level. The market has to stay above it. Then the market can rebound. But you ask me, is that right? Later on, in my opinion, I believe that the market will have to come down to this number, 45,234. Please write it down somewhere there. 45,234. I think this is the number that the Dow will be going this week. All right, I've got my reason for that. I'll explain more detail in the second half. We'll talk about the big candle, yeah? But take note of this number, 45,234. This is going to be a very, very critical number. Okay, so upside-wise, well, guys, upside can be all the way to the sky because now we are at all-time high level. There's really nothing much we can do. So if you talk about pivot level, it can be as high as 46,582. Now that's another 1,000 point. I don't think we'll see that, at least for now, because there's no reason for that to happen. So I believe that this now is actually the all-time high level. We can use it for our 5% rule. So what is 5% rule? We take the all-time high level and use a 5% retracement value to get a number. So let me show to you right now. I need to do this bit by bit because MT4 don't allow us to actually change the name. But it's always this difficulty to find my charts. Yeah, hold on, yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what we have right now for the Dow Jones, we have the all-time high that is registered at this number, 45,766. Okay, so this is the all-time high for the Dow Jones. All right, so a 5% pullback will lead it down to 43,478. And if you look carefully, the nearest white candle that the market can take out in KCB is 1A. The second one here is B. Oops. Is B. The third one here is C. And interestingly, here is D. And if you look at it, it's all right. D is slightly higher than 95%. So which means that everybody now do yourself a favor. Okay, I tell you a very simple thing to do. Okay, very simple. Let me just take a picture of this myself. Okay, everybody do this with me. All right, it's going to be very important exercise. Okay, now I got no time to draw it to scale, so you go and do it yourself on your own when you are free. So what I do is I do a very simple optimized way of drawing this. So what I'm trying to say is that now go and get the exact level of sell. I'm just basically putting in just for easy understanding. So these are the technical points that you need to watch out for the Dow Jones. If the Dow Jones ever come down and close below A, then it's a very high chance it'll go to B. Then if market basically trade below B, it'll go to C. And then after that, D. So the biggest pot you can see right now is that from where we are now to A. So it's a very big pot, a very big piece of meat here to make money from it itself. And that's why this morning I already shorted the Dow Jones. And I think that I can aim for the MLP. Then after that, you can go down further. Let's aim at A. Okay, so you please can check out A. what's the exact figure here itself. Of course, it's available on your system now. You'll have two of them available on your screen right now. You can double check on this. Go to Dow Jones. Okay, you can see that it's available now on your screen. This number here and this number here, 45,824. The next number is 44,452. Okay, they're all available on your screen. Yeah, very interesting, very powerful system. Okay, but of course, the main thing is that the market has to break below 45,488. Then you'll come down. If not, not possible. Yeah. The next market is gold. Now, this morning, I call for sell on gold. All right. Have you take notice of that? Now, why did I call for sell on gold? There were a few good reasons on that. Let me explain this to you now. Why? Number one, okay, the opening price is 33.71, right? Okay. So by right itself, last Friday with the strong movement, the dollar should be basically, continue to drop. But instead, the dollar this morning rebounded already. The next thing is that, right, if you notice carefully, there is a KCL that is here at 33.72, right? Where it come from? From this guy. Because it's a red to yellow crossover, changeover, and the KSI is green. So the KCL 3372 is available. Now, this morning, the high was 3372, exactly the same figure. So I know that gold may come down. Then the next thing that caught my attention is that there is a very strong support at this three area. Pivot to 3353. MLP 3355. MA30 3351. So within just a span of $5 difference, yeah, we have MA30, we have Pivot 2, we have MLP, all within the same area within $5 mark. So which means that based on law of attraction, the market will likely pull back to here itself. I'm quite confident that the market goal will come down to MLP first. Then maybe it may go back again because the KSI is green. So for those who are shorting gold itself, right, you can consider to buy back some gold. If you're short this morning, about 3355 to 3356, or you are a bit kiasu, means you are a little bit like, you don't want to take the risk, 3356.5, 0.7, you can get out and just move on, yeah? Now, it's not that I'm not bullish on gold. I am very bullish on gold. And as a matter of fact itself, you can see it's red, yellow, red, yellow. This is a very big dynamic move. So which means that by right, gold can move quite a fair bit in the near term. But as always, it's all right. When the market shoot up so fast, so quick, there's always an overbought situation. So the best trader in the world actually must compromise of a trader who do follow through trading and do the overbought, oversold. So for me itself today, why am I shorting the gold? Because number one, it's overbought. All right. Number two, based on OP rule, below OP is a sell. So because of OP rule plus overbought gets together, I have my sell reason, and that's why I shorted gold. It's as simple as that. All clear? If all clear, press number one. Now, if you're not too sure as well, right, don't worry. There is a class coming up on this coming Saturday. Now, more than 30 people already signed up for the class. This is a special gathering. So people have been asking me, KEL, what is this all gathering about? What can we learn from here? So that's why today I'm sharing with you a little bit how to combine the follow-through method with this what you call swing trading. And you put them all together as well, right? And then you can become a solid trader to make good money from the market. Okay? All right, so this one, all clear? So remember, if gold do come down to 3355, 56, 57, take a profit and move on, yeah? Okay. Next market that I want to talk about is the one that always seemingly, in my opinion, leads the NASDAQ, and that is the Bitcoin. Yay! Now, today, Bitcoin, I will check with you. By right itself, today should have a pivot, but not too sure why the pivot today didn't come out. Yeah, by right, based on my understanding, it should have a pivot. So I'll check out what's the reason. Because the reason why there's no pivot, because these few bars the way they move, right, is something that not seen for a long time already. Okay, so why do I say that, right? This one, because I'm the messenger of the pivot. Yeah, I always say that. I'm not the creator of pivot. Right, basically, when you see such a display of this pattern, in my understanding, okay, usually means it's going to be a very big movement soon. A very big movement. So the book movement can be as high as 124,000 coming in for the Bitcoin. So where are we right now? Wow, we are at 112,000. It's 12,000 point upside potential, yeah? But on a flip note, there is a 6,000 point to all the way to 106. All right, 106, okay? So now there is an issue here. What I'm actually seeing right now is that the market is going down, right? Can you see, guys? The market is going down, but the KSI is increasing. The retailers are selling. Okay, so now the thing is this. On one side, it's telling me that if the market is rebound, wow, we can see a gigantic recovery all the way back again, right? So that is what I see for a elephant trade potential. But on the flip side, I kind of worried because if the market don't go up instead and start to come down, and the KSI, if it's turned red in color, wow, that will be calamity. That will really sell the market down. So traders, right, be very careful. Use the opening price today and every day as a guide. Use the opening rule, yeah, OP rule as a guide. If the market stays above OP, then yes, you can aim at 124. But if the market stays below OP, you aim at 106. All clear? If all clear, press number 2 right now. Okay, so why talk about Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin, I told you, have a very interesting tendency to basically leads the Nasdaq. So if the market stays above OP and goes up, right, then we know that the Nasdaq will be going up. So we can buy the Nasdaq all the way up itself. But on the flip side, if the Bitcoin do come down, then the Nasdaq will fall. So that's why all eyes on Bitcoin. Watch Bitcoin carefully. Yeah, if Bitcoin starts to stay below OP, then the Nasdaq may be coming down soon. So take note of that. This is going to be very, very important. Yeah, all clear. Okay, it's not 100%, but because of this pattern that I saw, right? Because today I was thinking out loud, why there's no pivot? Because based on my understanding, there should be a pivot. But then I realized that there is a particular cluster that will form a very interesting problem here. So that's why today I want you to be very careful on Bitcoin. Yeah. Now this is dollar yen. As you can see now, right, the dollar yen came down because of the weaker dollar last Friday. But now the dollar yen is recovering because you can see that the boys are buying and pushing out the dollar. So basically, right, that happens and that caused the gold price to come off a little bit right now. Yeah, gold price now is trading down a little bit. It's trading down to 13362. This morning was like 3372, $10 down already. Yeah, more than 1 KTR already. Okay, so watch out for the dollar yen. The dollar yen today is still below OP. It's still below pivot 2. So if you want to recover, it has to go all the way up here itself. Now, last week, I'll tell you, right, I'm actually very optimistic on the euro. I told you that the euro will be going up, and truth be told, you see, euro basically was on the way down. And then after that, last Friday, when it recovered, the market just smashed and took out all the stop loss of everyone. All the people who was trading euro on the short side, all was being slammed because the boys just tripped all the stop loss on Friday. Yeah. Now, usually after that itself, right, it will still pull back, and that's where I think euro will come back down to 116.599 later. Okay, so that's how my view. Okay, guys, we'll take a short break for 2 minutes. Later on, come back. Don't go away because this is going to be very big. How to handle the big candle days. This is going to be very interesting. You will like it. All right, prepare our calculator beside you yourself because we will use a lot of mathematics to deal this special session. So we'll be back in 2 minutes. Don't go away. Stay tuned. I'll come back to you soon.